Welcome to 420 week. My name is Chris. I will be your host. I'm the Junkyard Rat. This is the Junkyard Rat Show, the greatest week. I mean, this Sunday, you get to pick. Are you going to celebrate weed? You're going to celebrate Hitler? Or are you going to celebrate Easter? Is it about Jesus, Hitler, or weed? You get to decide. I don't give a fuck. Celebrate something, god damn it. Because it's the greatest fucking week of the weeks. This week is a great week. We got baseball. We got excitement. We got weed coming up. We got the Hitler birthday coming up, which is always a great time, you know. Or maybe it's a Trump's birthday. Are we going to celebrate Trump's birthday?
Oh, it's also your buddy's birthday. It's Luke's.
Is it Luke's birthday on
420?
That guy keeps getting free shit everywhere, but
yeah,
I'm surprised they just don't ban him, you know? All these places that I thought they would ban this guy from.
It's funny. I used to do that too, is go all the apps and get all your free stuff for your birthday month, and it's gotten worse and worse over the years. They don't give you as much.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a car, so I'm not trying to go around trying to get free stuff, you know? I mean, unless it's weed related, they don't give you shit for. But I got my St. Ides, and finally I got a hookup. I got my St. Ides hat. I've been trying to get I'm always about the free hats, you know? And this is the second time I try to get a St. Ides hat. But I got it at Urbana in Oakland this Friday. St. Ides was there. My favorite Uka people were there.
Your favorite Uka.
They didn't bring the gold bus, so...
Oh, geez, sorry. Go ahead.
They didn't bring the gold bus. There's no room for the gold bus, but the Uka... But you know, I like the St. Ides people. They're cool, but they had like a bucket of free drinks. Unfortunately, none of them had weed in it.
Yeah, they were all like, what was it that you had last time that it didn't have any cannabis in it?
Oh, yeah, the Manzanita Naturals.
Yeah, so like they like to give away, so the only way they can give away stuff is if it's not dosed.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, like, they put this plastic thing on the weed drinks.
I like those.
And I always think, like, why don't they do that for alcohol? Because I think they're hard to open up. I think it would keep people from drinking so much.
I think you're right. I think that it's actually a great little invention, that plastic little top, because it keeps it sealed. It keeps it carbonated. I can put a drink back into the refrigerator and like 3 days later, it's still carbonated.
Yeah, it's true. This is a great stuff. The St. Ides. There's a lot of weed drinks, but they're expensive. This one is like $10. I get them at Mo Green's, which is around the corner. Or Barbary Coast, but Barbary Coast is sold out, you know. I did the trivia night. I came in second place in trivia, but I messed up. I messed up in the final question. I had a partner with me, Alvin, who was
your buddy Alvin.
Alvin, we were partners, and he wanted to do the final question, which was they give you like a bunch of concentrate to do. And then they asked you to name 5 things in 10 seconds. But I told them, like, let me do it because I'm better at it.
Right.
Of course, I fucked up. they asked me. They gave me like some concentrate from the Dr. Dabber, and then they asked me to name 5 green vegetables in 10 seconds.
Right.
I don't eat fucking vegetables. God damn it. I fucked it up. In fact, one of my answers was tomatoes, and they're like, tomatoes are red, and I'm like, no, they got green tomato. I think I said watermelon too. I was like, watermelon's not a veg. I totally fucked it up. And yeah, and I had to, but you know, we got beat by a female couple. But I think they got I forgot what their question was, but yeah, we came in second place. We got an 8th, which is pretty cool. There are only
How
three,
much does it cost to get to play?
uh,
You have to pay to get in there.
Yeah, you can just buy a St. Ides for like $10. You can buy a joint for like $7.
Like a pre-roll or something.
Yeah, they're not very specific. They're not like other places.
Or you have to spend 25 or
yeah,
whatever
25 like the Union Station or the Mission Cannabis. You got to, but these people are still reasonable. You know, but yeah, not it's a fun place. But yeah, we came in second place. We could have won, but you know, he's good at science. I'm good at the other stuff. You know, anything science I mess up. Planets. And then we got Paul with us today, the producer. He sounds like he's on his deathbed. So
Yeah, I definitely, my headache's getting a little bit better, but not by much.
that's cool.
I was watching a show, and I can't even remember the name of it.
Look it up.
I'm looking for it. But I was watching this show, and it was like almost like a cross between Bill and Ted learns, like Bill and Ted's learns scientific facts.
That's
So
great.
it's
Was it on PBS?
it was on Paramount, and the name of the show, let me find it.
You got Paramount Plus, or
Yeah,
that's how
I have all the apps.
You got. Why don't you hook me up with some?
Hook you up with some,
Give me the. I want the Peacock.
right?
I want the Peacock one.
You want the Peacock? Peacock's free.
Well, not
The premium stuff on Peacock.
not anymore. Not for Xfinity anymore.
Oh yeah, you can only get certain things.
Yeah.
You are correct.
I mean, WrestleMania is going on this weekend. I'm gonna have to order a Peacock.
Right.
Make sure, because I'm going to a 420 event. I'm not sure what 420 event. I'm still confused.
So it's a series by Funny or Die, and it's called Funny or Die's High Science.
Nice.
And the one I was watching was A Trip to the Moon, and how the one guy thinks that we never went to the moon.
Well, I think we were at the moon. I don't think that the video they showed us is real, though. But I do think we've been there.
You think we've been to the moon, but you don't think the footage that you saw.
Well, the main reason why is because it was in the late 60s. They were in a battle with the Soviet Union to get to the moon.
Yeah, who would get the moon race? Who would get there first?
Yeah, I mean, why would they give out their secrets? You know what I mean? It makes sense that whatever they really found down there, they would keep it locked in, because I don't think any other country's been to the moon. So whatever secret they got, you know, that's why I'm thinking like they were there, but I'm not really sure that was the real footage.
Right.
Because this is 60s. Like, how the hell did they get that footage anyway? Like, it's the 1960s, you know. You could barely watch the Super Bowl on black and white.
Let alone take video from up there.
Yeah.
I think that footage, you're right. I think that footage might be fake, because I saw the way they were taking it. They were using like an iPhone 16.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, Kubrick is a great filmmaker.
And you think Kubrick did it?
And I think Kubrick did it because it's somebody, I mean, but it's, the thing about it was, the reason why the footage is so bad, it's a bad footage, but I don't know. I mean, it's questionable for me. My mom hates me talking about this because it's like I'm ruining one of her favorite childhood memories watching. Well, not childhood memories, because You know, I was born 4 years after that. So, but yeah, I guess my mom was in Chile watching people walk on the moon. But I think we were there. You know, but I'm not sure that footage is real. But what do I know?
Right.
I love conspiracy theories. The Warriors are in the playoffs, are in the playing game. They're actually playing tomorrow. I think they might be like playing in San Francisco tomorrow. I knew they were gonna lose to the Clippers because if they had won, they would play the Lakers in the first round. And I don't think the NBA wants the Warriors and the Lakers to play each other in the first round and stuff.
Right.
So I'm not saying they lost on purpose, but I mean, it's questionable, but I mean, it's weird. I mean, how you end up in the playing game? But it's like they're in seventh place. If they lose to Memphis, I think they play the winner of the other playing game, which was like, I think it's like 10. No, is it? It's 7-8, and then you got the other playing game. So the winner of and then no, I think it's that the loser of the playing game plays the loser. I don't know. So I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure at this point how the whole property, but it's 420 week. Let's put up the phone line. What are your 420 plans?
My 420 plans are to go to a camping place. What's the name of it? Oh, by the way, Joanne's still moving stuff, so she's
Oh, that's
packed.
cool.
The name of the campground is Costanoa.
Where's that at?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up
That
because
sounds like a mafia place that they put out the dead bodies or something.
right.
I
So
saw
that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm going camping.
I saw a summer camp movie that is in the theaters. I think it's called Hell of a Summer. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. But it's funny what you learn in these movies. People always laugh at these movies, but you learn some interesting facts. Did you know 9 out of the 10 straight couples start out with a female giving the male oral sex, not the other way around?
Right.
9 out of the 10 sexual acts by straight couples start with the female sucking off the male, and not the male going down and eating out the woman.
Oh, jeez.
And I learned that in that movie and stuff. Some guy was going down on some actress during. I think it was Spider-Man 2.
It's in the San Mateo Hills.
You're gonna be in the San Mateo Hills on 420?
It says nestled between the Pacific Ocean and the rugged mountains of San Mateo.
Are you going to some Nazi retreat or something?
No, it's super nice.
You're going to a Nazi retreat. You're not even telling me, are you?
Yeah, no, it's called. You know what glamping is?
I don't know.
Glamping is glamorous camping.
The thing about it is I'm a foreigner. Foreigners don't go camping because it took us so long to get to this fucking country. Like, why the fuck are we going to go live in a tent? I mean, we left the country so we didn't have to live in tents. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not saying that tents are bad, but I mean, I don't know. You sleep in tents for the weekend. You might like it. You might end up in a tent in the streets of San Francisco one day. You don't want to open up that door. That's how I feel about camping. You just don't want to open. I would go camping though. I mean, I would go camping in the right circumstances. The right circumstances don't include me and a bunch of people.
No, it looks fun. It looks like that's the way to.
Is your family like a camping family?
No, the last time we did camping was like 20-something years ago. So no.
Are you taking your kids or your stepkids?
No, I'm just taking my wife.
Your wife
I
and
was thinking about taking the dog, but nope, the dog's not even going.
Yeah,
Ace is passed out.
that's not a camping dog and stuff.
Yeah, actually, he would love it. I think he would love it out there.
Dog. Yes, I do think that we should move that number down to more like, I think next time You should like go down on the woman before she sucks your dick. So we can move that down from 9 out of 10, maybe like 7 out of 10. That should be like your new thing. Like, no, I got it. But I think women are more comfortable sucking dick than letting you go down on the first day. So I think they might be more okay with that. I don't know. But yeah, it's a fun film. Hell of a Summer. It's one of those horror films like, you know, you don't even care if people are dying because it's a fun movie to watch. I saw another one which like some horror film that I wish like, how the hell did I end up in this one? I forgot the name of it, but that one was crazy. There's some horror films, you know, that you know aren't fun to watch. Yeah, but Hell of a Summer is a great movie.
Hell of a Summer.
Hell of a Summer. The funny thing is, one of the producers was Jason Bateman. His sister is in Family Ties, Justine Bateman.
Right.
And I'm thinking the Batemans have been around forever. You know, we've never seen anything go down bad with that family. You know.
Where were you watching that Hell of a Summer?
In the Metreon. I got the AMC Movie Pass. I don't know.
But that's like a 2-year-old movie, isn't it?
No, it just came out.
Oh, did it?
It just came out. Hell of a Summer and stuff. It's a pretty good movie.
So it's a horror movie.
It's like a fun horror movie. It's not like...
Camp counselor Jason Hochberg thinks his biggest problem is feeling out of touch with his teenage coworkers. What he doesn't know is that a mysterious mass killer is lurking on the campgrounds, brutally picking off victims one by one.
It's true.
And it was released on April 4th, correct. Characters.
It's a good movie.
And I don't even know any of those people.
I knew a couple of them. I recognize a couple of them, you know. There's one guy that looks like Timothy Chalamet.
Right.
He's like a clone or something. There's a couple of Timothy Chalamet clones running around in Hollywood these days making movies. But I always thought it was the same guy. I'm always surprised when, you know, but Hell of a Summer. It's a good movie and stuff, but yeah.
And how many? I forget how many movies you said you can see.
I can see 3 movies a week. I pay like $25 a month. See 3 movies a week. That could be IMAX, 3D, whatever it is.
And it's an AMC pass. So do you have one out by your place in Rossmore, or do you have to come to the city?
Nah, they got one in Emeryville, They got 2 in San Francisco, the Kabuki. But no, there's no AMC near me. But I mean, I'm always in the city, so I'm always out there. It's pretty cool. The Metreon is cool, but I did lose my phone there last week. But I got a new phone. You want to hear how I ended up with a new phone?
Sure.
This is a great story. So, yeah, I lost my phone.
At the Metreon, it was stuck in the seats, right?
And it went in between the seats.
Right.
And it was like inside, and I couldn't get it out. And, you know, I didn't want to go on the ground and start cramping because I'm an old fucking man, you know. And I thought, well, I'm going to go back to the streets and get another one the next day. But then they got a new rule. They only give you like 2 phones a year. But I went online and I signed up with different companies hoping somebody was going to send me a phone. Well, I got lucky. Somebody sent me a fucking tablet with a SIM card. With a working SIM card, right?
Right.
So I got hooked up with a tablet. Pretty cool tablet. It's an Android tablet. Thank God for the government, right?
Right.
You know, you see people on Facebook complaining about the government all the fucking time.
Right.
But so I took out the SIM card out, a new fucking tablet, stuck it on my old phone because I have a phone. I still have a working phone, but this phone used to be an Obama phone, but when I switched companies to the phone I lost, they disconnected this line.
Right.
But I put in the SIM card
from the pad,
from the tablet, and this motherfucker works.
Oh yeah, it does.
It worked. I want to say thank God, you know, thank God, you know, for the government, and thank God for for all the presidents, all of them. How many presidents are we at?
We're on number 47.
47. Thank God for all 46 presidents, you know. No, 45. I think a couple of them were 2 terms, you
Right,
know.
a lot of them were 2 terms, yeah.
No, but you had to like lose and then come back.
No, you didn't. You could gone back to back.
No, but for them to give you a new number, you know.
No, that's incorrect.
No, because Trump is 45 and then
47.
yeah.
But if he would have won the next one, he would have been 45 and 46.
No, they keep it 45.
No, they don't.
They do keep the same number.
No.
So, well, yeah, they do.
Should we look it up?
Yeah, we can look it up. You want to bet?
Okay, how much do you want to bet?
How about your weed?
Have all my weed,
All
right?
your
Yeah.
weed.
Let's see
All
all
your
your
weed.
weed.
All
Oh, your weed is.
I got no weed.
How can you bet all my weed for all your weed?
I got weed drinks. I'm telling you, I know. What I know, I know. But yeah, I've been watching Family Ties. I'm on season 3. You know, these 80s shows are crazy. Like, they don't make TV like they did in the 80s. There was one episode where Alex was hopped up on Ritalin pills, trying to study in the early 80s. You know,
Yeah.
and I guess he got it from a friend of his sister's, who got him to lose weight. They were diet pills, like this crazy stuff. You know, like you just don't see stuff like that. You know.
They don't have a moral to the story anymore.
Yeah, you're not gonna see somebody hopped up on Ritalin episodes and stuff. You know, but you did in this show. The 80s were crazy, you know, all kind. They had one episode where some older friend of their dad was trying to get with the oldest sister and stuff. They had one of those episodes, like, I mean, yeah, those 80s. They don't make TV like they do now. It's like all fun and games, you know, but yeah, it's crazy. It's like, but the funny thing is he went to college, but he stayed at home, which kind of, but I was surprised. Actually, the woman who played the mom actually got pregnant during this series.
Oh,
So
Joanne Kearns?
Yeah, they wrote it in. I think she ended up being a lesbian at the end. You know, I think she married a woman.
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so.
You wanna?
You're talking about the Family Ties?
No, I'm talking about the actress, not the
Joanne
not the
Kearns.
TV show.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of surprised they never brought this show back, because you figure, but maybe it's because it was a time capsule show, you know. But it's really good. But yeah, what are your Easter plans? I mean, what are you gonna do on 420? Are you gonna smoke weed?
Of course.
Are you going to church? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna take out your copy of Mein Kampf and read it for your family? What are you gonna do on Easter? Are you gonna like bring out your Nazi flag and like smoke some weed?
Yeah, that's it.
Is that what you're gonna do? I saw, a lot of that Easter movies. That it's weird that Jesus and 420 fall on the same day, you know. But the truth is, God grows the marijuana, so it is all connected, you know. And you know, Hitler never liked weed. I think if Hitler had smoked weed, he might have won the war. I think that might have done the difference, you know. I think if he smoked weed, he would have realized, like, man, I'm doing this whole war thing wrong and stuff. You know, I do believe that a lot of the technology that we got from NASA and the space race came from the Germans, though. Which is really weird, because if they had all this technology, why weren't they winning the war, you know? I mean, if they were able to come up with rockets and stuff, you know, why couldn't they win the war? I mean, why couldn't they just bomb the shit out of some country? Which is always weird and stuff, you know, the greatest generation. But I'm excited about 420. 420 week. Tomorrow's 415 day. What are you doing for 415 day?
415 day.
You don't know 415
No.
day? You never heard of 415
No,
day?
that's when you pay your taxes.
No, 415 day, that's the area code of San Francisco, isn't it?
Yes, it used to be. It still is, I guess.
It still is. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do?
415 day. Sit here and work and record other people's shows.
It's exciting.
So I
yeah.
can't seem to ask the right question.
What question are you?
Trying to look up, does the president keep the same number? If a president gets reelected, do they keep the same presidential number?
Let's put out the phone number.
Let's do that. Here.
Let's put out the phone number. See if anybody. We got any listeners? What about your 420 plans?
Here you go.
Here's
your.
I was thinking about reading the Bible, but it's.
The studio hotline is open. 650-503-3435.
What about your 420 plans? Are you gonna smoke some weed? Are you gonna be like watching some Hitler documentary, or on the History Channel? Are they bringing out all the Hitler stuff again on the History Channel? Half of the History Channel is all Hitler documentaries. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
It's
the Hitler channel.
The Hitler Channel and stuff. I didn't realize it, but I think if Hitler had smoked weed, if he was a pothead, he could have won this war,
Right.
Because I think he could have seen. He would have stayed the fuck out of Russia, though. He would have waited on Russia. That's what happens when you smoke. Napoleon too. Like, if those fools had been on weed, they'll be like, maybe we shouldn't do Russia yet. Let Russia we wait for Russia later on. Because I used to play Risk when I was a kid. And you don't go after Russia until the end, You don't try and win Russia. Russia's too hard to win. You leave it for the end and stuff. Did you ever play Risk when you were a kid?
Yes.
Risk was a good game and stuff.
Right.
It took hours to play Risk, didn't it? I haven't played Risk in years. We should do that.
So you are correct. The only way I could find it is go look up a list of the presidents. And when you look up a list of Barack Obama that served from January 20th, 2009 to January 20th, 2017, which is both.
Yes.
He was only president 44. He wasn't 44 and 45.
See, that's why I'm
45
saying.
would have been, what's his face?
You fucking doubt me.
I'm telling you.
You doubt me.
Yeah, totally.
You fucking doubt me and stuff. Hey, man, I don't come up in the top 3 every week in trivia at Mo Green's for nothing, okay? It's hard to be in the top 3 regularly.
Yeah.
Even though there's only like 3 teams, that doesn't mean, we scare people, but
Right.
you doubt me, but I do have a good memory. That's one of my things is I do have a good memory, but it's hard to lie to people because they know I have a good memory. And I don't have a great, I don't have one of those memories where I can read a book and remember everything in it. I'm not one of those people,
You're not a photographic memory.
No, I'm not one of those.
Or whatever they call it.
I'm not one of those people, but I do remember things.
You retain facts.
I do retain facts, but...
How were you in school?
I was terrible.
Were you better at test taking than day to day?
Oh, hell no. I was terrible at tests. I don't know. All I can say is, I think I'm the only person in my family that didn't end up with a 4.0 GPA or something.
Right, because they're all bankers or something.
Well, no. I mean, I was surprised, but I think my nephew's got a 4.0. My niece had a 4.0. My dad went to Stanford. My mom graduated from San Jose State with a 3.85. My brother got a 4.0 his last 2 years at Cal Poly,
Right.
So I'm probably the worst grades in my fucking family. I got through high school, but I barely got through high school. I don't even know how I did it. That's
Right.
one of the reasons why I don't go to the reunions because, you know.
What, like school reunions, like high school or whatever?
Yeah, I've never been to one high school reunion because they fucking they charge us for these reunion thingies.
Yeah, they're expensive too.
They're like 150 and like the last one, and they always get like some group or some. I think the last one they had Sir Mix-a-Lot. I mean, I like Sir Mix-a-Lot, but I mean, god damn it, why not just have like a rent out some bar and stuff? Have some shitty.
Instead of going back to the high school or whatever.
No, not even in high school. They don't do it in the high school. They do it like I think one year that it was in Los Gatos.
Mm-hmm.
We're that kind of people. You know what I mean?
We're that kind of people.
We're that kind of people. But I mean, we got some rich techie. But I've never been to any. Yeah, I think the last one. If you can't afford the ticket, let us know and. Somebody donated a bunch of money. Like I'm really gonna tell people I went to high school with that I can't afford it because I can. I mean, if I really wanted to go, I mean I could have done it, but then I don't even fucking drive. But the truth is, like, yeah, these reunions, the people who show up are, they're not really my friends. My friends don't go to that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, how about you? You ever been to a high school reunion? Or?
No, I almost went, but you're right. It's kind of the expensive thing. Plus, I had friends in high school, and it'd be kind of cool to see those. But I see most of those people on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
At least all the ones that I like.
Well, yeah, there's a Facebook group for but I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up to one of these reunions. I'm still gonna show up to one of them.
Right.
I'm gonna show up, but I thought we were gonna do a 30, but 30 happened during COVID, so we didn't even do a 30 because I graduated class of '91.
Right.
But our class is we were cool. I mean, but yeah, the only person I really talked to outside that I went to high school with, and he got kicked out for smoking weed. Obviously, we're friends, but yeah, because there was a park right next to my high school. Of course, that's where people would go smoke weed, like where the cops are gonna go look. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have a friend that went to Mission High, next to Dolores Park. And he said the cops were always in Dolores Park looking for them. So yeah, sounds like somebody's like jumping up and down upstairs.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise from upstairs. I can't believe how much.
You never hear anything about the ballet. I never like the ballet. They don't invite us.
That's funny. I literally sounds like it's outside the studio though.
Yeah, they're like banging something, but no, it's like music and stuff. But yeah. Why don't they have any like ballet shows? They should give us some ballet tickets.
Right.
I went to a ballet years ago. My dad helped bring a Chilean ballet to Berkeley and stuff,
Right.
I had the front row for a ballet. I thought one of the dancers was into me because she like danced the whole thing just staring at me, right?
Right.
And I was gonna talk to her at the after party but I realized that, I mean, as an artist, a lot of people probably do that. Some people they find some dude they're into, and the whole performance is geared to them. Maybe it's easier for them to dance that way,
Right.
to just concentrate on. But yeah, I remember one woman just danced the whole thing, just smiling at me, and I was like, oh,
Right.
maybe she's out there. She's out there. If you're listening to podcasts and you were a ballerina in Chile. But yeah, I was in Berkeley at UC Berkeley. It was on the campus, actually. I had a front row. I've never been to ballet since then, but I got to say, and since my dad brought these people, But yeah, it was an incredible performance. But I've never been in a ballet. You go to ballet? You know
No,
how
my
ballet-
wife goes to it a lot. Goes to the ballet with her mom.
Oh yeah,
They
the
go
one
to the ballet.
out here in San
Yeah, in
Francisco.
San Francisco.
I haven't been to the Opera House.
Right.
I haven't been in like those buildings, those huge buildings. Like, what the hell goes on? I mean, where do you even buy? In fact, I was trying to buy tickets for our show over here. You know, for Hamlet.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, I've known like multiple people that have gone there to that. I wish I would have went.
No, I mean, I think he's still around.
No, the 13th.
Oh, well, what today is today the 13th? Oh, no, the
Today is-
14th.
It's the 14th. The last night was last night.
Oh, okay. So, fuck, yeah, I missed out.
Right.
I was going to buy tickets for the sold out and stuff. Nobody hooked me up. Nobody hooked us up. We're neighbors, dude. What about these community groups? Keep talking about, like, we want to get the communities together. Like, why don't you, like, hook us up? Why doesn't the ACT hook us up with
You would
tickets?
you would think they would.
Yeah, they're right next door. Where's their community?
Right next door.
Yeah.
We can interview people. We could come over there
Oh,
and
yeah.
review the show.
I wanted to go see Some Like It Hot.
Yeah, that was at the current theater or whatever.
Yeah, or Back to the Future, but then I didn't want to see Back to the Future because I thought it's gonna fucking disappoint me, man.
Right.
Because the movie means a lot to me. Back to the Future, it means a lot to me.
I saw that too there, or I saw that they had that there.
Yeah.
So what did you think of that? What was probably pretty boring.
I don't know. It probably is okay. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen What's the other Hamilton? Hamilton comes over here every year, but I mean, yeah. Why don't they hook us up? Like, why don't they? I mean, what about these community? They're always talking about community, this community, that. But we're community, goddammit. This is I don't know if it's a nonprofit. I don't know if it's considered a nonprofit, but we are a community-based group. You know, we come out of San Francisco. This is a Bay Area thing and stuff.
All right.
And like, yeah, why don't they hook us up? You know, I want to go see shows at the ACT.
Right.
You know, I used to go see strippers down there. Is it the same stage? Or?
So I think it was right next door to it in the parking lot.
Right next door.
You're talking about the Market Street Cinema?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was next to it.
Oh, okay. So I was like, I saw strippers, but yeah, it's Easter, but I'm not reading the Bible. I think it's X-rated.
Oh, jeez.
I don't want to. Last thing I want to explain to somebody how I got excited reading the Bible. I read the children's Bible, and I do have to say, like it or not, America is a Christian country. You do need to know about the Bible to go to school. You don't realize how many biblical things are in the schools. Like just as things that you should know. So I did read the children's Bible, but I don't remember any crazy stories.
You're reading the children's Bible?
I read the children's Bible when I was a kid.
Yeah, they have that. They have that. My kids had like the children's Bible for a while.
I used
like
to
Bible
read.
stories.
I used to be a reader.
You used to be a reader.
I used to be a fucking reader. I haven't read a book like maybe years. No. I listen to books. I was listening to the Jets quarterback. What's his name? Aaron.
Right.
Aaron. What's his name? Aaron. Fuck it. But I don't I don't read anymore. I mean, my eyesight is like fucking. I can see far, but I can't see menus that well anymore. That's why I go to McDonald's. I know exactly what to order.
Right.
Like, I don't like going to new places because new places, you gotta look at the menus and stuff. And I'm not ready to walk around with glasses wherever I go. I'm not old,
You're not old.
I live in a senior community, but, it was weird. I was talking to one of my neighbors and, I mean, the seniors and the cell phones is a big deal because a lot of these people don't know how to use a cell phone. It's complicated, I mean, we take it for granted that we know how to use it because we use computers, but You know, a lot of these people are getting fancy cell phones. They just don't like iPhones, and he didn't understand the difference between the iPhone and the Android.
Didn't understand.
And I have to go back to the beginning. You see, when Apple was making computers, they never let other companies make programs for the computer systems. So we had one system, the Apple system, which became the iPhone. And then Google came in with Android. I think we had a third, but because I used to have a Microsoft phone. Remember, Microsoft had some sweet phones and stuff.
Right.
But they don't make them anymore. They don't fucking make them anymore. But now you got two different programs. You got Google, and of course you got Amazon. Thank God for my Android tablet, because the Amazon tablet is just a piece of shit. You know,
Right.
there's a lot of stuff they don't let you look. There's a lot of apps you can't even download on Amazon. I just don't understand. You know, I tell my financial advisor, you know, don't.
Your financial advisor, your mom?
I tell her, don't get me any Amazon tablet, whatever. But yeah. It was weird seeing that nice tablet. It's heavy, too. The Amazon tablet is a lot lighter than the other one. But
And what is the other one?
the other one is some company. I don't know. It's one of these companies, like, they have companies
Oh,
that
it's like a generic one, yeah.
they refurbish, like, my phone. My phone is a Vortex. I don't know who the Vortex. What they do when you turn in your phone, when you donate your phone, or
Right.
when you upgrade, they take that phone and then they clean it up, and then they give it to us losers, us Obama phone losers.
They resell it. They refurbish it and
They
resell
refurbish it and give it to us.
it. Right.
But the phone I lost is really fucking nice. This one's okay, but the last one was just too impressive. And I told people that I got it stolen because I was shameful. I was shameful letting them know my real story, that it was in between the fucking seats. I need to find somebody who can get in there, you know, like I can't get down there like I used to, you know what I mean? I can't get on the floor like I used to.
I have my parents practice sitting down on the floor and then getting up.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's hard for people.
Yeah, you're a caregiver, aren't you?
I'm a caregiver for multiple people, including my parents.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You're one of those caregivers. You're milking the government.
Yeah, I'm milking the government.
Milking the government, taking care of your
The
parents.
government's milking me.
And you're taking care of your parents, and you're charging the government.
My parents, another friend. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the sex show, isn't it? Or?
The sex show. Yeah, I take care of different people in-home support services, in-home health support services.
I hire you from my mom, but I don't think you're a fun person to have around every day. So. I hope my mom doesn't need a caregiver. Officially, I can't be a caregiver, so.
Why?
I don't know. I'm on SSI. I don't know if they got rules against that, but.
If you do make money, you'll have to.
Yeah, it's a job and stuff, you know.
Right. So for whatever you make there, you would give up in benefits.
Oh yeah, but yeah, my neighbor had a new phone. It was complicated because they always sell them these nice phones at these stores. They take advantage of these people, like.
Right.
You know, like you got an iPhone, but. Like, you seriously don't need an iPhone unless you look at porn regularly. You know? These old people aren't looking at porn. But I told them, you know, the thing that really was surprising, he started naming places in South America. He's read a lot about, watched documentaries on places in South America.
Right.
And I was like, why the hell didn't you go? You know?
Right.
Why do you've been through, if you can make it to Europe, you can make it to South America. That's one thing about these old timers. They weren't about traveling into Latin America, you know. They'll go to Cancun and stuff, or Cabo and shit. But Yeah, no, they spend all this time watching documentaries. Know more about South America than I do. And I was born there. I got family down there, but I was like, why didn't you just fight? And I told the guy, he was kind of shocked, but did he know you can actually drive to Chile? You can fucking drive to Chile.
You can drive to Chile.
Yeah, you can drive all the way to Chile.
Is it because it's South America? Wait, hold on.
You can drive all the way down.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can drive all the way down.
How long would that take?
A couple months. People do it. They have done it. I mean,
how long would it take to drive to Chile from here?
Maybe a month. It depends how much you drive. The problem is is the insurance. You got to get different insurances.
Right.
You're crossing countries, but you can drive down. Because the Panama Canal has, they got a place for the cars.
You mean the American Canal?
Yeah, the American Canal. Panama. I've been in Panama. I've been to Panama, Guatemala. I've been to Costa Rica. I've been to all these countries. I've been to the airports. I've actually
driving from Los Angeles to Chile is not directly possible due to the Darien Gap in Panama, which is impassable by car. The Pan American Highway, a network of roads connecting to the Americas, does not provide a continuous route through this area. While some travelers have attempted to circumvent the Darien Gap by air or sea, a truly continuous overland drive from Los Angeles to Chile is not feasible.
Oh, wow. Maybe it was.
There you go.
That's sad. You can't drive down there. I don't know everything. I don't know everything.
And I'm guessing the Darien Gap is water.
Well, Darien really liked going into the Gap. So.
Yeah, sure.
What happened to Darien? I haven't seen Darien in a while. I used to stay with Darien. I used to kick it with Darien. I actually stay in his place.
Oh, so it's not water. The Darien Gap is a 66-mile stretch of dense, roadless rainforest that serves as the only break in the Pan America Highway.
Oh, yeah.
This challenging terrain, characterized by steep mountains, muddy swamps, and dangerous wildlife, makes it a major obstacle for migrants attempting to travel from South America to North America. The Darien Gap has become a crucial but treacherous route for migrants, particularly in recent years, as it's the only land-based path connecting South to Central America.
You see?
So you can't drive through it, but you could possibly trek through it. But it's 66 miles of crazy wildlife.
Hey, man. Wildlife is everywhere. There's cougars everywhere. It's crazy. I like my new hat, though.
Yeah.
I like
so
my
did you get it from a rep or did you get it from somebody else?
No, I got it from a rep. I know a rep. I know. I got an ashtray from her last time. I know the rep for St. Ides. Yeah.
You should be telling her, hey, hook me up with a case of these drinks so I can put them in the studio and I can just drink one every week.
I wish. I wish they'll just give me the free ones.
They'll just give you the free ones. The ones that don't have anything.
They'd rather give you the free grinder than the free drink at this point. You might end up with a nice grinder before you get a free drink out of any of these people, man. The law is so fucking bad, I mean, that one guy, what's his name? What the hell is that guy's name?
Which guy?
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about that evil governor of California, the evil governor.
Newsom?
Gavin, I don't know, he wrote some law, They can't give out anything for free. I think they could if they really wanted to, but why do it? But yeah, I've been at events.
You used to be able to get free dabs and everything, but you can't do that anymore.
Before, the medical marijuana days. But I've been to events with the edibles, and all the edibles, there's no weed in it, One edible company has got nano edibles. Have you heard of the nano edibles? Nano. I guess you're using nanotechnology.
Nanotechnology.
It means that your edible is gonna go through your bloodstream quicker than usual. It's a nano.
Jeez.
It's nano. It's. I swear to God, it's all scientific. But yeah, they can't give out anything for free. These edible companies, which is weird. It is weird, though, but I think weed companies are they're more flexible. But yeah, like you go to these weed events, it's like, I don't know, it's different. It's goddamn different. Remember, 420 was always about, what's the name of the HempCon? Remember, HempCon always happened on 420.
Right.
They haven't tried to do a HempCon in years.
They need to do that.
The High Times doesn't even do the cannabis cups anymore. It's everything. Everything is done online. You can buy judges kits. And you judge the contest, but they don't do cannabis cups. Kush Talk is happening though. Kush Talk is happening in LA, and that's like on 419. That's the day before 420. That's a big event, but yeah, it's the state of the industry and stuff. But I gotta be thankful for St. Ides.
St. Ides.
And
getting you work.
I gotta be thankful for the San Francisco weed lounges. The San Francisco weed lounges have been a great part of my life, and I'm very thankful for them. I'm very happy, very thankful, very appreciative.
Yeah, that would be nice. Like I said, we need to get them as a sponsor.
Yeah, but it's like, it's crazy. I need a sponsorship, like St. Ides. Like, I like the St. Ides, but I do feel weird, like I'm repping the alcohol too. Part of me is like, I like the hat, but it's like, am I sending the wrong message?
Yeah.
Is that your mating call?
That was my mating call. That was the.
Is that the ringtone your wife calls you? You got the.
Right.
Is that her saying you need to come home now? Or
yeah,
something?
she says, "Get out of that show.
Get out of there.
Get out of there now.
Come back to the 209. The 209.
So the president of El Salvador is not going to return the guy that they put in the jail by accident.
Of course not. Because
that's kind of funny.
He wants something, It wasn't an accident. Nothing happens.
Well, that's what the Trump administration says. It wasn't an accident. We knew exactly who we were putting there, and it's like, really?
Is it a coincidence that they convinced a bunch of people who are on food stamps and Medi-Cal to get us free government phones? I'm like, which group would the government love to listen into? Is there one group of troublemakers that? How about the people on food stamps? Like the fucking,
Right.
And now they all got us using phones, their phones. Like nobody knows what happens on their phones. What happens to those records? Like stuff like that. But it's all the same. I don't think it matters. All these companies are colluding with the government anyway and stuff. Did you see that we had a Katy Perry one up in space?
Yeah, Katy Perry and a whole bunch of people. I didn't realize that they had already done it, and it was that quick.
Right.
They literally went up and came back down.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that
surprised.
Was
I'm surprised they let Katy Perry go up on space.
Well, even what's her name, Gail King or whatever.
Gail King. I think they had a female pilot, didn't they?
Yeah, probably.
But they're not really going up in space,
Yeah, they are going into space. They're just not. They're just barely. What is it? They're going to the. So is it SpaceX?
Yeah, it's SpaceX. It's Amazon. Yeah, because Lauren Sanchez was on the flight too. Why can't we get anybody calling in? Like what? All my listeners, nobody's calling in. It's What? It was Palm Sunday. What the hell is Palm Sunday anyway? Do you know?
I'll tell you what it is.
Palm Sunday. What was Palm Sunday? I know the Bible's really X-rated. That's why I never read it. I'd rather just go to the porn. I just go straight to the porn. You know. I was looking at a porn site.
Palm Sunday falls. Palm Sunday is the Christian movable feast that falls on the Sunday before Easter. The feast commemorates Christ's triumphal entry into Jerusalem, an event mentioned in each of the four Gospels.
Because he dies and he comes back, right?
Mm-hmm.
When does he die?
So was that the Last Supper?
Yeah, the Last Supper. Yeah,
Was that what that is?
the Last Supper. Were there any women at the Last Supper? I don't even fucking know.
I don't think there was.
Were there women? No wonder it was the last one. There was no women. Somebody had to cook and stuff, you know. Somebody had to cook and stuff. What's up with it? I got some food delivered. My mom uses these food delivery companies, and they bring me full-on meals, but they're like healthy meals, you know. And one of the meals they came with was a breakfast burrito, which is really good, but it was spicy. And I'm not into spicy foods. That's why, you know, if you want to keep me from munching on your munchies.
Okay, so here we go.
Always get like spicy Cheetos. If you buy spicy Cheetos, there's a chance I'm not even gonna eat it.
So between Palm Sunday and Good Friday, several key events took place in the Christian narrative.
Hell
Palm
yeah.
Sunday marks Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem, while Good Friday commemorates his crucifixion. In between, we have Holy Thursday, where Jesus shared the Last Supper with his disciples, followed by his arrest and trial. These events highlight Jesus' sacrifice and the events leading up to his death.
Why weren't there any female disciples, you know? Because every time there's a cult, you know, it's full of females and stuff, you know? I think Jesus might have been the only cult leader that didn't allow women into the cult, you know? Maybe that's why it was successful, because there was no female disciples. But, I mean, yeah, I think he's got the only cult that didn't allow women or something. These cults, you know... A lot of them.
Yes, Jesus had female disciples, though they weren't among the 12 apostles. And some notable examples include Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Susanna, who accompanied Jesus during his ministry and supported him financially.
That's what I'm saying, you know. That's what I'm saying.
It was the New Testament that mentioned several women who followed Jesus and were part of his broader group of disciples, including.
Of course, you can't have a cult without females, you know. It's not a cult, but I mean, it was at one point. I mean, Christianity was a cult at one point. It turned into a religion, but you know, it was a cult in a way. In a way, it was a cult. The whole cult of personality, you know, but the whole Christian bloodline and stuff. I do think that I think that Jesus Christ's bloodline does run through my family and stuff. I don't know why. I just have a weird feeling like, you know, my family's bloodline runs through all that, you know. But that's something else. I've been to the Vatican. I gotta say. Yeah, my brother lived in Rome for a while, and I went to visit, and I went to the Vatican, but it was like 2 hours. It was fun, but yeah, I went to the Vatican, but I never did the communions. Like my family, they're Catholics, but my parents hated Catholic schools, so when they came to America, they never really took us to church. I've only been to like church a couple times in America.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't been that much.
So it's not. It doesn't hold any.
I went to a Mormon church in high school. A friend of mine was Mormon.
Right.
You know, a friend of mine was Mormon.
And so you went to church a couple times.
Oh, just once.
Once.
Once. Yeah. What about you?
I think the last time I was in church was probably for a wedding or funeral, and then
I was baptized, though. I was baptized.
I think the last church I was in that wasn't a christening or a wedding or a funeral was probably a Sunday mass here in the city.
Oh, yeah. I was baptized, though.
Were you?
I think the last time I was in church, I went to the Weed Church in Oakland.
Right.
The Zydor. I went to the Zydor. That's
a church.
The Zydor.
They recognize Zydor as a church.
They used to do like I don't know if they still do church services down there and stuff, you know.
And apparently the one in San Francisco is not here anymore.
I think they had trouble because the city went after them because they kept having their windows broken. People trying to break in to steal shit.
Try to get mushrooms.
Yeah, and the city told them they gotta get these nice windows, and they just decided it wasn't worth the whole effort, you know. They weren't selling that many mushrooms, I guess, to get some metal windows and stuff. But
right.
It was weird. I was always confused with that. Like, is it the landlord's responsibility or is it the renters?
It depends on your lease.
Yeah.
But no, where I'm here, it's the landlord's responsibility. So if something happens with electrical or mechanical or locks or whatever, it's them. So are you going to do like the 420 crawl and go to these different clubs and get the free things?
Yeah, I'm gonna do something. You know, I'm still confused. I'm not even sure anymore. You know.
Well, where do you get to go and what do you got?
I don't know. I was gonna go to some event, but I'm open. I'm still open. You know. I haven't sealed a deal yet on where I'm going, but I'll be somewhere. I'll be high. I won't be in Vegas in WrestleMania though.
Right.
But you know, I'll be at a weed event. I think I'm going to David Downs. He's got Spacewalk Week, and I think last year there was a lot of weed they gave out at some event. I think I'm going to that one, but I'm still open. Like, I'm trying to win some free shit. Anybody got free stuff? You know?
Well, I'm looking to see if they have any free giveaways for
free stuff. They're giving out a Puffco at Mo Green's, but that one's hard. No, I don't think I'm gonna win that because there's too many raffle tickets. But yeah, you know, it's 420. It's Easter. I might be praying and stuff. You know, I might end up in church. I might be at somebody's house looking for Easter eggs.
So if you go to FunCheap, which is sf.funcheap.com, you can find out all the different events on Friday the 18th.
Yeah.
They have...
well, yeah, Spacewalk has got events every night of the week now, I think. The whole week. But yeah.
San Francisco's 420 Festival at Fancy Cannabis Lounge.
Which one is that?
Mo Green's.
Yeah, Mo Green's.
And it's listed as hella funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's the 420 Comedy Festival.
Oh, yeah. Hella funny and stuff.
Man.
Oh, that sounds like a fun time, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Hella Funny's taking over and stuff.
They've already taken over, yeah.
It's hard to break into that club. They haven't even been around a year, and they have
Well, Hella Funny's been around for.
Yeah, Hella Funny's been around, but yeah, you know, somebody told me that they did the open mic at the function, and they told them that if you buy a drink, you get more time, and they claimed like it wasn't even true. They give them like 3 minutes, like. I don't know. I'm just too old to be waiting for hours at a time at a place for like 3 minutes, you know. I'm too old for that. I don't know. I could be at home jerking off. You know?
Hella Funny 420 tickets Get free tickets, or otherwise it's $4.20.
Oh, yeah?
Free comedy show on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, they're doing it Sunday, too, usually?
Yep.
Yeah, Hella Funny is at Mo Green's every Friday and Saturday and stuff. You know? Every Friday and Saturday, they're Mo Green's.
Yeah.
But it's pretty... I can't believe you're gonna be camping. You haven't been camping in like 30 years and stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta go see that movie, Hell of a Summer, before you go camping.
Go see that before I do that. Sure.
It's a fun horror film, you know. Some of these horror films aren't fun, you know.
Right.
Some of these new age horror films, you know, like some of them, you know, especially if it's a horror film made by a minority, it's not gonna be a fun horror film. Somehow minorities always like to make their horror films with a message, you know, like those are the scarier ones. You know, the horror films like Hell for Summer, there's no message there, you know.
Right.
Except, you know, the message I took from it, like, yeah, 9 out of 10 straight couples, their first sexual act is the man receiving oral pleasure.
Right.
Not the female. So I did learn that fact. I don't know how I picked that fact up, you know. But it's weird how you learn just crazy shit. Of course, somebody probably got paid millions of dollars to come up with stupid shit like that for the movie, you know.
Right.
These movies, you know, I could write one of these films. Maybe not like a slasher film, you know. Because I'm a good person.
Hell of a summer.
It's weird they keep making movies. Stephen King movie. Stephen King hasn't written a book like in 15 years.
And they keep making Stephen King movies.
Yeah, but he hasn't written a book like in 15 years. You know?
So is it just a derivative of something he's written before?
Yeah, they're all like remakes. You know, they keep remaking like Pet Sematary, all this stuff.
I can't remember what I saw him on. I want to say it was Stephen Colbert, and it was kind of unique because I hadn't seen him on an interview in so long.
Oh,
You don't really see him ever interview.
that's right. 420.
So I was trying to look for some news. Nothing good.
420 is one of those days that you always think it's special, and then it comes up, and you're like, damn, what am I gonna do?
What other movies have you seen? Have you seen the new Beetlejuice?
Yeah, I saw the new I saw the King of Kings.
The King of Kings?
Yeah, the King of Kings.
Which one's the King of Kings?
It's a cartoon about Jesus.
Oh.
The King of Kings.
You went and watched that.
At the Metreon, you know. It's because I'm like a Zen movie watcher. When you go to the movies as much as I do, you know, you really don't get to choose everything. I haven't seen the Minecraft movie yet. I think I'm gonna see it.
That's
this
with
week.
Jack Black and The Rock or something.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm trying to get like a 3D time for the Minecraft. They got a John Lennon and Yoko Ono documentary that is at the Metreon. I haven't seen that either.
Mm-hmm.
But that one's always fun, you know. Remember how people used to hate Yoko Ono? They don't hate Yoko Ono anymore. Like,
Well, they still, they not as much, but yeah. I heard her talking about that in her new book or something that she just released, or maybe it's this documentary that they said the type of hatred that came at her. Of course,
racist.
it was very racist, very racist.
Racist and sexist.
Right. And so it was pretty bad, apparently.
I'm not sure what race Yoko Ono was, but because Ono
isn't Ono
I think she's
Korean?
I think she's Japanese. Was she Japanese or Korean? Maybe both. You could be both these days, you know. You don't realize it, but yeah, there's a documentary. There's a Yoko Ono.
She is Japanese.
She's Japanese. Yeah, they don't really hate that stuff anymore.
And she's 92 years old.
92 years old and stuff. Yeah, they used to hate Yoko Ono big time back in the day, but now they're like, whatever and stuff, you know. Even his son was big for a while. Like, his son had a couple of hits too. Julian Lennon,
right.
the oldest one, had a couple of hits.
Right.
But I guess if you're, the
Did you know that he sued her?
Yeah, he sued her for royalties. Yeah,
Right.
because I'm not sure that the will covered Julian that well. I'm not sure that John Lennon, you know, had a will that covered his son. I don't know. So yeah, he sued her for royalties, but at the end, I think they worked it out and stuff. You had Michael Jackson who owned the Beatle rights. They kept saying for years that Michael was broke. Right? You own the rights to the Beatles. How the hell are you broke? 420 is going to be exciting, but I don't understand why you're not excited about 415 Day.
415
Because
Day.
I'm very excited about 415 Day. I mean,
What are they going to do for 415 Day?
I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something in San Francisco. Something fun. Something fun. What about you? I'll probably be high somewhere. I'll be smoking weed somewhere in San Francisco tomorrow. What about you? Yeah, the spacewalk. I saw a spacewalk. They got free events every night of the week. Go to their website. They have a lot of new strains coming out. New weed strains.
What is 415 Day in San Francisco? It's an annual celebration held on April 15th, commemorating the city's area code. It is a day for locals and visitors to celebrate San Francisco's culture, community, and history. Axios notes that the city was incorporated on April 15th, 1850, further reinforcing the connection to the date. 415 Day often features events like pub crawls, concerts, and community gatherings.
That's right. I'm gonna start out at some yoga. I was actually watching like a salsa dance class in at Civic Center. They have like where the ping pong tables are. I was watching them do like a salsa dance class.
Right.
It's exciting. They got all these dance things going on down there and stuff. I'm like, it's exciting. Like I'm too old to learn how to salsa dance. So.
Too old to
What
learn how
about, can you salsa dance?
I cannot salsa dance.
Yeah, I was too old. I was gonna I don't know. I can still move and stuff. I got moves, I got moves. But yeah, I was watching the salsa dancing, and I'm like, yeah, a lot of these free activities you never think about, They got ping pong tables, foosball. They got all kinds of stuff. They got free gyms. It's exciting. It's 420. It's Hitler's birthday. It's Easter. You get to choose. I don't even care. Are you pro-Jesus? Are you like a Nazi? Are you a pothead? I bet, why isn't anybody calling in telling us what they're going to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
The most popular podcast ever, and nobody's calling in.
All right, let's
Why
do that.
Why are you afraid?
Let's do it.
Why are you fucking afraid?
So let's do it again.
Palm Sunday.
The studio hotline is open. 650-503-3435.
I keep hearing rumors that weed taxes are going up.
Right.
Soon. The weed prices are going to go up.
So I bet you, well, that's one thing that won't be affected by tariffs because it's not coming from another country.
That's right. This is American. Your marijuana is fucking American grown and stuff. We don't get our... When I started smoking weed, everybody thought that the weed was coming from Mexico. But
When I was first starting to smoke pot, a lot of it was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it probably was.
Because it was all brown.
But now it's green. That's why people don't realize, I started smoking really bad weed,
Right.
So it's like, I'm just a bad weed smoker.
You're just a bad
I'm not like these people there. They're very specific. They spend money on weed.
Right.
I want to spend money on weed. I do want to spend money on weed. But if you give me your shitty weed, I'll probably end up smoking that too. Because I'm what historians call a motherfucking pothead. And there's Cheech and Chong. Cheech and Chong have a movie coming out on 420.
Right.
I think it only plays on 420 at 420. Are you gonna go see it? I mean, how you gonna miss out on the Cheech and Chong movie? You're gonna be camping with your wife somewhere. Well, how did you do? Why camping? Why camping? Like,
Because it's my friend's birthday. He's turning 50, and he's been organizing a party for a bunch of people for the last month and a half. So it should be pretty cool.
I think I went camping when I was in Cub Scouts.
Right.
But I don't even think we used the camp. My dad had one of those old Volkswagen thingies, and yeah, we slept in there. But I was in Cub Scouts. I don't know if did I make it to Boy Scouts? I'm not even sure. But I can light fires. I'm good at lighting fires.
Right.
I use matches or lighters, but I'm good at it. I'm fucking good at it and stuff. It's an exciting time, 420. 420 is always a magical time, you know.
Right.
It's always a magical time, you know. And being Easter, you know, it's a good reason. I don't know. I think one year I was at a sesh. They had like an Easter thing. They hit a bunch of weed and Easter eggs, but then they charged us money, and it was kind of bunk. But somebody told me that they were going to their family Easter egg hunt because Easter is big in their families. I guess Easter is not big in your family, you know.
Right.
When was the last time you went to church with your family?
Like I said, it has to go back to almost like
sinners.
No, what is it called?
Are you guys sinners?
No,
Are you a sinner?
Yeah, I'm totally a sinner.
Why you got your pipe out? You're not even smoking.
No, not smoking yet.
You're a fucking sinner.
Total sinner.
I am
the
too.
dog's here. He's a sinner too.
With my St. Ides and stuff. My exciting time. Yeah, the tears are the stock. I don't own any stock and stuff. People are really upset, but I don't watch the news that much when my financial advisor isn't around.
Right.
I can hide it. I've been watching Family Ties. Family Ties is a good TV show, but yeah, I mean, do you watch the news a lot, or?
Yeah, I watch the news daily.
So what is going on in the news?
A whole bunch of Trump bullshit.
Did Nixon get framed, or?
Did Nixon get framed? Yeah, I think you might be a little bit off on timing on that.
Oh yeah, are they gonna impeach Trump again?
I don't know. I think they're gonna try to, but I don't think they're gonna get close, even with all the shit he's doing. I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, because the Republicans run the Senate. You know,
right?
That's the weird thing about politics at this level, that Republican or Democrat, usually those numbers stick. You know, at those levels.
Right.
It's really hard to get a bunch of people going, especially when it goes to that level, because it's like it's everything. You know, that's when they really count. But yeah, I mean, but they probably will impeach him again. You know.
They'll try to, but I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna get him because he's slippery as shit. He's all orangey and stuff. He's all orangey and stuff.
He's all orange, you know. It's weird he's orange and he lives in Florida. Like,
it's weird. He's orange.
I mean, you don't see people from the Midwest orange, you know. Just those Florida. How much orange juice do you think Trump drinks? You know, to look that orange. That's a lot of orange juice.
How orange does he get?
Of course, we got the St. Ides peach. Peach is probably my favorite fruit because peaches could be titties or ass. You know what I mean? It could be titties or ass. Yeah, I can't believe you didn't go pick up those things at Bloomingdale's that I bought for your birthday.
Yeah, you bought them.
I bought them. They were like $10 each. But I needed a truck to get them out. And I mean, I'm an ass lover, but even I have my limits. But I would have bought it, but it was like, you know, I was kind of sad. It's kind of sad to see Bloomingdale's go, you know.
Right.
Because I spent a lot of time in that place. I've never bought anything there.
You've just spent a lot of time there.
No, because I walk through it from the mall. When I go to the Metreon, I go through the Bloomingdale's. I don't even know where am I gonna walk through. You know, am I gonna have to go around? Like, how are they gonna open up that area just to walk through? Or
that would be interesting. Let's see if we can see the SpaceX launch. SpaceX launch.
Oh yeah. I mean, they gotta let us walk through that area, right?
You would think.
You think?
Let's see here. Hold on. Let's go with. This is the one with all the females. Okay, so.
Liftoff. New Shepard has cleared the tower.
And there you saw the main engine is turned off. We're now going to separate the capsule from the booster, and at that point, Kristen, that's when all 6 astronauts are going to start to feel the weightlessness, and shortly thereafter, we're going to let them unbuckle.
Separation is confirmed.
And that right there is the most critical milestone of this whole ascent. Oprah watching her best friend go to space.
There's a video of it. Air cushion that will kick up the dust. It's a very soft landing despite the sporty perception. There it is. Damn. We got video, where's their video of them in the spaceship?
Congratulations and welcome back to Earth.
You see a video.
You didn't really close it again. Come on out, guys. This is your baby.
Where are my babies?
They're over here. Go see them.
Where? I have to go
Right
there.
there.
Okay.
Katie.
Oh, look at her. Getting the dirt. You survived. You survived.
Oh my gosh.
So jelly.
Gail.
That thing going out of space.
I just have to have a moment with the ground. Let me just
That thing going out of space.
appreciate the ground for just a second. Thank you, Jesus. Oh my God. That was amazing.
Gail. I'm so proud. So proud of you.
Oh, there we go.
So impressive.
I'm so proud of you.
But the flight instructor said that I am her best success story. Why? Because she's never had somebody go through the course who's terrified of flying. Everybody who's gone through the course is somebody that it's been a lifelong dream. They wanted to do it. So she said, I'm her best success story. I'm so proud of me right now. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
You have done so many incredible things in your life, selling millions of records, selling out stadiums. Where does this experience rate for you?
This experience is second to being a mom.
That's sweet.
Wow.
But you're
Crazy.
you're just sitting there. Like, it's not like you're actually flying this thing, you know?
Right. No, you just sit there, but it's still pretty crazy.
I guess we know that Katy Perry's got real boobs because they don't allow you
Katy.
they don't allow you on these things with fake boobs because it'll explode and stuff.
Fake boobs.
No fake boobs, no fake ass or boobs. Yeah, you can't be in one of these. You can't be in outer space with fake boobs. There's things they freeze over and stuff, you know. It's weird because it's like, yeah, my mom orders these food things, and they always come with these bricks, these freeze, like these ice things.
Right.
But they're full of some kind of gel too.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, what am I supposed to do with these things? Just throw them away? Or?
Yeah, some people reuse them or whatever.
Yeah, am I supposed to? I mean, could I open them up and have the gel go into the water stream?
No, you don't want to do that.
Do I just like throw them solidly?
You have to look at what they say.
But they're heavy. These things are heavy as fuck. I mean, I gotta like melt them out. But like, why can't they just use real ice? Why the fucking gel?
Yeah,
because
it stays colder for longer.
That's impressive, though. You know, it's impressive. You know that. But they just really sat there. But that thing can't go in outer space. So don't even try and tell me that thing is in outer.
No, it goes to the edge of our atmosphere and then
because
it's
like
got
big ass windows. I mean, how the fuck does that thing even, go?
Well, and then I realized it's not SpaceX.
I watched the right stuff.
It's
like
not.
10
It's not
times.
SpaceX. It's what's his name? It's
the Amazon. What's the name of the Amazon?
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Something blue.
SpaceX, they don't fuck around, dude. Katy Perry does not like. Elon Musk is not letting Katy Perry ride his spaceship and stuff. He just don't do that. You know, he's serious. Elon Musk is serious about his spaceships. He's about making money.
He's very serious.
He's not about joyriding celebrities and stuff where they can get like in a photo op and stuff. He's serious about it. But it's exciting. Katy Perry went up there with Gayle King and who was it? Oh yeah, Lauren Sand. I mean, that is crazy. I wish they would put me on there and stuff. Like, I wish. Do you gotta sign a PDA to get on one of those spaceships? But it's incredible, you know. Like, we can put up Katy Perry up there with Amelia Earhart, you know, for impressive feats. You know, like, look at you, so impressive. When's the last time Katy Perry had a hit anyway? It's been a while. What about me? I haven't had a hit in years. You guys don't even call in anymore. My lonely podcast. None of you call in. Nobody gives a fuck. I don't know. I guess you're just jelly because I got a St. Ives hat and you don't. I mean, it was hard to get this hat, you know. You got to work it, you know. You got to work it. You just can't come up. I come up and a couple of times I always get the hat, so that's my thing, you know. I like the hats. But this one's like my favorite, you know. And when I saw it, I said, me. And she's like, well, did you buy one of our products? I said, look it. Every day I'm drinking something like this, you know. You know, one day I'll probably end up in rehab because of the St. Ives. I'll be in St. Ives rehab. I'll be the first person to end up in rehab because of marijuana beverages. It'll be me and stuff like, but yes, I'm a big St. Ives fan, drinker and stuff, but you know, I still feel weird about it because, you know, I'm just not, you know, because of the other product they got. Like, I mean, you know, the other product the company's known for, you know. One day it could be the other way, you know. One day St. Ives will be like, fuck the alcohol. We're making so much money off of the PBR brand. PBR is going to be like the weed. It's all about the weed, not the alcohol. You know, but yeah, I don't even think I ever drank St. Ives. I might have to drink St. Ives, the alcohol. I'm gonna have to just drink it and just to see how it tastes. I've never actually done it, but I've drank a bunch of these. It's almost like I don't even buy weed anymore, you know? And thank God for that, you know, because I don't know. I mean, I'm never really, I cough a lot. And, I can't smoke, like, big-ass bongs. I can't put a bunch of smoke in my lungs. I cough a lot. So I think it's just better than the St. Ides. The only problem is I think they put concentrate in it. And the concentrate isn't, like, the best thing for you, you know? I wish it would just be, like, naturally weed, but who am I to question something as beautiful and as loving and tasty as especially the peach, you know? People going through my garbage will be like, this guy drinks a lot of, he's an alcoholic, he's drinking St. Ides. And that's the other thing. That's why I always thought maybe I should switch my brand to like a weed brand so people don't just assume I'm like drunk and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with being drunk. Being drunk is great. It's fun. But yeah, you know, that's the only problem about St. Ides. But the hat is fucking off the hook though. I mean, I'm so happy, you know. You gotta have goals and stuff. And I think getting a St. Ides hat was on my bucket list. I don't know why, but I ended up doing it. And I got it. It was successful. That's all I'm about. I'm about getting successful shit. You know what I mean? Got my St. Ides hat. I really like the camouflage too. I used to not wear camo because I thought it was disrespectful to people in the military. But now I'm over that shit too. A lot of things I've gone over, you know, that I used to be very rigid and shit. But now I wear the camo. I don't give a fuck. But years ago, I'm like, you know, because I got friends. I got high school friends who were in the military for years. I think one of them is still in the army and stuff, you know. One of my high school friends actually made a career in the army. So I used to not like the military, but he made a career. Yeah, he's been doing good. So I'm okay with that shit now. But yeah, you know. In Chile, where I was born, everybody's got to go into the military for 2 years. But none of my cousins have ever been in the military. You know, we always got out of it by going to college. But I actually got drafted into the military one time.
You got drafted into the military?
I was drafted into the Italian military. I'm actually an Italian citizen. I was drafted. And my mom told me to go. She said, go. She said, the Italian military is not like the American military. You can just chill at home, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm really going to get yelled at in fucking Italian. I don't even know Italian. But my mom has always been like the opinion the military is good for man, you know, for men.
Right.
Because her older brother was like a pain in the ass, and they sent him to the Army Academy and they trained him out. You know, so now my aunt too, her sister, they've always thought like men need to be in the military, god damn it. Learn how to go days without eating food, make your bed, running 20 miles at a time. I'm like, you know, they allow women into the military too these days. Like, why don't you goddamn join, you know? But yeah, my mom, she almost sent me to some military private school in high school. But because I used to break into my parents' drawers. My parents had drawers that were with lock boxes, you know.
Right.
You know those drawers, the filing drawers?
Right, filing cabinet with a lock.
But they were the easiest things to break into. Anybody like...
Case.
Yeah. So I used to break in and I would look at these records. I'm like, these people try to send me to military school. You know, I never forgave my mom for that. To this day, I always thought, like, why would you do that to me, you know? But sometimes, you know, sometimes I wonder if I would have been better off. If they, I'm not military, but if they had sent me to, like, boarding school I always wonder, maybe I would have been better off if they sent me off to boarding school.
Right.
What about you?
I don't think they would have. Yeah, that wouldn't have done me any good.
You don't think so?
No, definitely doesn't. Don't need to go into the military. Didn't need to go into the military.
What about boarding school? Did you ever think like maybe boarding school would have been good for you? Or?
No.
Yeah.
If anything, I just think I could have used some people giving me better
grades?
No, better assistance when
better
I was.
Better grades.
That too, but no, better assistance.
Assistance.
Better like tutors or whatever.
Oh, hell yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was in special ed, so I never did well in school. And, I always had the, but it's like, to me, it is, like, I don't know. I don't know if I didn't like studying or I don't know. I have one of these personalities that if I wasn't interested in something, it's hard for me to care. But yeah, I don't think I ever was taught how to study, I mean, it's weird to say that, but there's a whole system into studying, I don't think anybody taught me how to study.
I definitely had tutors. I was thinking about that. It's Blue Origin. It's not SpaceX. Blue Origin is Bezos.
Yeah, a friend of mine used to work at the Amazon factory in San Jose, and he said that they kept track of everything. I mean, they actually had everybody on stopwatches.
Oh yeah.
They kept track how much time it took you to do this, do that. He hated it and stuff, But it's crazy. But what can you say about a company that can deliver shit in 4 hours, I mean, you can buy something in the morning and 4 hours later it arrives to your fucking house.
That's a little crazy.
It is crazy, but that's the reality we live in and stuff,
Yeah, but now they're saying that like Amazon is not going to be ordering anything from China for a while. And it's like, how can you do that? Because everything comes from China.
I don't know.
So.
Because everything doesn't come from China.
Damn near.
You got Vietnam. There's other Asian countries that make the same cheap shit we want. But it's true, like, things haven't gone up that much, I mean, 30 years ago, how much would you buy a T-shirt for at J.C. Penney's? I mean,
like $10 or something.
It's still the same price. I mean, it's been 30 years. That's why it's hard. It's hard for any of these companies to keep going because people can't pay more, They pay what they can to buy clothes, But it's like, we're not paying more, The airline tickets haven't gone up that much.
Right.
You're looking at all your stickers and stuff. All your stickers. She got another show starting up this week.
Yep, we have at least one show starting up and another one maybe getting reformatted. But yeah, What Is It? The What Is It podcast.
What show you're getting reformatted?
We're going to reformat Beyond the Bars so that it's partially done here and partially done in their home studio.
Oh.
Because when people can't make it or get it done, we try to help them along the process.
Accommodate them.
Well, accommodate them or...
What about the Saturday show? You were upset with them one time.
Well, I wasn't really upset with them. I was just... I was disappointed that they got bad audio, but they understood it.
Did you work it out with them?
Yes, I did.
Did you put them on double secret probation?
Yeah, double secret probation.
Double secret. Did you tell them you weren't going to take their money that month? Like, I'm not. No.
Yeah, sure.
You're on probation.
We're just going to take your money twice.
We're gonna take your money, but not do shit for you this month.
Yeah, right.
You're on probation. Double secret probation.
Because that's what happens.
Technology is crazy. Like with my neighbors trying to explain to them, how to look at porn on their phone. You know what I mean? I haven't had a neighbor come up to me yet. And like, I look at the porn. Where's the porn at? I'll help you find the porn.
The porn.
I should do a class like Chris. Chris is gonna help you look porn for seniors. You know, like porn for seniors. I could have a class where I live where I tell people how to find porn on the internet, free porn.
So has Blue Origin's rocket blown up? I know that Elon's has blown up multiple times.
I'm not even sure, but Elon's never had a rocket blow up where people were inside.
Not when they were inside, right?
There's a difference. You can blow up all the rockets.
Right, but is he actually putting people into space?
Well, Elon's main job is to put satellites in space.
Put satellites in space.
That's what he does. He puts. People don't realize that his company, all these companies have satellites now. How do you think the whole 5G, all the computer systems, you know, all these.
Yeah, but that's actually a government satellite. That's not theirs.
No, they got private satellites.
They have private satellites, but the one that carries what they call the 101 information is our government. It's not. But it's not Elon.
These companies have private satellites, and he puts them up there. He puts them up there. Like usually, yeah, that's how he makes his money. So that's the main job
of SpaceX.
Yeah, that's what they do.
They
put up satellites. NASA doesn't do shit anymore. Have you noticed that? NASA, they don't do anything anymore. There's no NASA missions anymore. It's all run through SpaceX.
Right.
You know, they're not putting anybody on the moon, but that, you know, I mean, Elon Musk doesn't have private rides. There's not like a bunch of celebrities on flying Elon Musk. You know, who's the other guy? Richard Branson too. Wasn't he coming up with like a? Didn't Virgin have like a? Were they putting people in outer space too? But yeah, Elon Musk doesn't do private rides, celebrity rides.
Right.
He ain't down with that. This is a real business, you know. This is not about putting up Katy Perry, and Katy Perry's like talking about this is one of her best accomplishments ever, you know.
Yeah, she says next to her children.
Elon isn't about that, you know. Elon's like, these are serious businesses, you know. The Tesla, the X, you know, these are real businesses. These aren't like, you know, publicity things. Elon doesn't do publicity and shit, you know what I mean? Elon doesn't sponsor hospitals. He doesn't sponsor buildings. There's no Elon Musk auditorium, you know. There's no Elon Musk center. There's no arenas named Tesla Arena, you know what I mean? There's no SpaceX Arena. There's no X Arena.
No.
X Stadium. SpaceX. There's no Tesla Stadium, you know. He ain't down about any of this shit. He's about serious business. He's a serious motherfucking businessman and shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
He ain't out about any of that, you know? If it doesn't make money, he's about money. He's a money guy. And these are not publicity things, you know?
Right.
He's about doing drugs and making money. I mean, the American dream. You come all the way from South Africa.
The American dream.
You got like, how many kids? 15 kids?
14 kids.
14 kids. He's got 14 kids, you know? You're Elon Musk. You know, you're like a billionaire. Like, of course the women are going to try and get pregnant. Like, you know. But he never thought about, like, cutting off his nuts so he couldn't have any more children. But he loves kids. Yeah, they all love him and stuff.
Right.
He's got a couple of kids that don't like him, though. I think there's one daughter who hates him. You know, but she lives in California. You know, if you're a billionaire, don't raise your kids in California. They're going to end up hating you. Because the whole school system is about woke this and woke that, you know, woke this and woke that, you know.
Right.
It used to be about spending daddy's money. Now it's about woke this and woke that and woke this and woke that. And like, but 14 kids, and I don't see any of them complaining that he doesn't give them money. He gives them money, but I mean, I keep hearing he's losing all his money, but the guy's like the world richest man by far because all this money he's lost. He's still number one, you know?
Right.
Unless nobody else wants to be number. I don't even know when. Is there like who decides who's? Is there some company that comes up with this? Isn't like that business magazine the one that?
Yeah.
What's the name of that business magazine?
Forbes.
Forbes. I think they're the ones who decide
who the richest is.
The richest person, you know.
Right.
The richest person in the world, but he keeps losing all his money, but he's still number one. But yeah, you know, there's no Tesla stadium or arenas. There's no X arenas. There's no SpaceX. Nothing and none of that shit.
Right.
He doesn't. There's no hospitals. There's no buildings. He ain't down by any of that shit. You know what I mean? He's about making money. He's a serious guy. You know. That's why they really like him. You know, like he's not really a philanthropist. He ain't give a fuck about philanthropy. He ain't down with philanthropy. He ain't down with any of that shit. You know.
Right.
He's about selling cars. You know, putting satellites in outer space. He's about all that shit, you know. He'll start giving people rides to when people start paying serious money to get up there and stuff. But it's not a publicity thing and stuff.
It isn't a publicity thing.
It's not a publicity stuff.
Right.
So you look better. Is your headache better?
A little bit better, yes, sir.
A little bit better.
Yeah.
Tylenol, the magic wonder drug and stuff.
The magic wonder drug.
The magic wonder.
It will be good for 12 hours. Hopefully I don't get another one.
Oh, yeah.
Again. So.
I mean, of course, you got a headache. You got an ace hat on, you know. I mean, it's probably the ace hat that gives you the headache.
Yeah, that's what it was, the ace hat, sure.
It's the ace hat. I tell people all the time, you know, you wear an ace hat. Of course, you're going to get migraines. I mean, your team moved to Sacramento, and they don't give a fuck about you. I mean, it's fucking painful. It is painful. You know what I mean? We're going to move to Vegas. You're going to be sitting around crying about, what about my team? What about my fucking team?
What about my team?
What about my fucking team?
Yeah, no, everybody's going to Vegas. I don't need to follow them to Vegas.
What about my fucking team? That's why you got a headache, because of that hat, you know? I'm telling you, you put on a Giants hat, you know?
Right.
You'll feel a lot better. You'll feel a lot better. You'll look a lot better. People are going to treat you with respect.
Right.
Wearing an ace hat now is like, it's basically saying like it's basically trying to tell people you got a criminal record. You know, at this point, like your criminal record, you're in jail, got, you know. And no one wants to do that. I think that was the biggest problem with the A's is that people look down at you for being an A's fan in the Bay Area. Like, if you have a good job, you can't be at an A's game, you know? You got to be at a Giants game.
You got to be at a Giants game.
You know? Yeah.
All right, we're getting close.
We're getting close. It's 4:14. We got 4:15 tomorrow. It's exciting. 4:15 is like one of my favorite holidays, you know? Every year I look forward to 4:15. It's exciting.
I'm just so glad Katy Perry's back on Earth.
I know. I was worried about losing her. I'm like, thank God they brought her back, you know, safely.
There you go.
All in one piece. Like, motherhood is number one. Sitting in some spaceship, you know, that basically just took me up there and dropped me down. Number two. And number three is being a judge in American Idol.
Yeah, something like that.
Her accomplishments. She's not a judge anymore. Is she on American? I don't think she's a judge anymore.
Is she not a judge anymore?
I don't think she's a judge anymore. I got my Angels. My Angels aren't. They're not in first place, but they got a winning record. I'm surprised. I don't think they like me much because when they won the first game of the year, I was like laughing. I'm like, I guess we're not going winless this year, but we got a winning record. Took 2 games from Houston, so we're doing pretty well. It sounds like there's some TV. Oh, and your dog sounds like it's sick too and stuff.
He's just tired. He's not sick.
Tired. So you drove out.
I hear next door. I hear the studio next door rocking. I hear something streaming.
So you came
and then
out.
we're gonna go say bye to Joanne because she's coming to visit us one last time before she goes to Texas.
That's great. Joanne's coming.
And then today is 4/14. Tomorrow's 4/15. My birthday's on 4/16. And then.
So what are you doing
Saturday.
on Wednesday? I mean, like a party.
I'm gonna go help my mother.
You're gonna help your mom.
Help my parents do what they need to do.
You're gonna like help your dad smoke some tobacco.
Yeah, sure. That's what I'm gonna help him
That's
do.
what I'm gonna do.
All right. So what are you gonna do for your 420? Say your buys.
I'm gonna do something. You'll see me somewhere doing something. What about you? Happy 420. Happy Hitler's birthday. Happy Jesus' death day. Jesus has risen.
Happy my birthday.
Happy birthday to Paul.
And then
How old are you gonna be? You're gonna be like 97.
yeah, 58.
58. Damn.
And then your buddy's got his birthday on the 20th too.
Yeah. How old is he gonna be? Like
I have no idea.
like 35 and stuff.
I have no idea.
It's gonna be. I'm surprised they let him in all these places. I figured they would all like ban him after last year. You know. I'm surprised they even let him in these places.
Well, we'll have to keep up with his posts. So.
Happy birthday. What was his name again?
Talking about Luke?
Happy birthday, Luke.
There you go.
Happy Hitler and happy birthday to Hitler and Luke. Not in that order, of course.
No, it's Paul, Hitler, then Luke.
Paul, Hitler.
Luke. You got to have the right order. All right, guys. We out? We'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys next
See you
time
next week.
on The Rat Show. Peace.